seems like the current default path is heading towards a very, very scary place.
DeepSeek.
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 And it is shaking this entire industry to its core.
It would be really bad for China to be ahead in AI capabilities.
China is beginning to engage in what I'll call AI dumping. About a third of corporations now are supposedly using Chinese lightweight, open-weight models that are cheaper. If I were Xi, I would just dump cheap AI into the US market. I think the US market crashes.
Then practically gave the whole thing away for free.
It might be over for Claude and ChatGPT. DeepSeek just released their own harness, and this changes everything we know about coding agents. It can do everything that Claude Code can do. It can run commands, read files, but you can use any model you want inside of this harness. But do you know what's very different? The price. I'm paying $200 a month right now for Claude Code Max. Cursor is $20, but this new DeepSeek harness is $0. Yes, you heard that right. No free trial, not a starter tier, $0. All you do is that you bring your own API key. There are a lot of people right now that are making guides on YouTube right now that are saying that you can stop your Claude Code subscription. However, you should know by now that most setup guides, they don't tell you the entire truth. Because if you watch what happens in those videos, they set it up, they build some simple project, they say it works, and then they're done. But no one actually shows you the builds that break, the things that actually matter, and the thing that determines if you're gonna switch or not. So, is DeepSeek harness actually as good as people say it is? Well, I ran the ultimate test against both Claude Code and Codex. Let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. Let's start with the absolute most important thing first, which of course is the pricing. In order to have access to the Codex app and use it for actually building stuff, you would need the $20 a month subscription, so ChatGPT Plus, because this gives the expanded access to Codex, which you would need. The $8 a month doesn't give you enough usage. It allows you to build with the Codex app for macOS and Windows. It has access to the advanced reasoning models, which are the ones that we're going to be using. These things are pretty crucial if you're serious about building anything. So Codex is $20 a month. Claude is writing it in a little bit of a sketchy way in my opinion. They're writing $17 a month right here. But this is only if you take the annual subscription. It is also $20 a month when you pay monthly, which most of us do. The problem with the Pro plan is that you probably already know it. We don't have that much usage on the Pro plan. So if you actually want to build real stuff for your business, then you would probably need the Max plan, which is $100 a month. So Claude is definitely the expensive option. And then we have the DeepSeek harness, which was literally just released. And the crazy thing about this is that it's fully open source. You can see I can find the GitHub repo right here. It has 177,000 stars already and almost 20,000 forks. And the entire harness is open source, which is pretty cool in my opinion. However, one thing that we need to take into consideration when we do the test is that this is still in preview. They literally just released this as a preview to what is coming. And we're going to talk more about this, but the main thing that I think is super cool about the DeepSeek harness and is a massive opportunity is the fact that every capability is a plugin, they call it, that can be swapped or recomposed. So we can literally change anything we want about this harness. We can customize it to our exact use case, which is something we cannot do with Codex or with Claude Code, because that's of course closed sourced. In this video, I'll show you some insane use cases and we're gonna put it to the ultimate test to see if this is just another hype video or if it's actually something that's good. Let's get into it. There are multiple ways that you can install the harness and a lot of them are pretty confusing and pretty technical, but I'll show you the absolute easiest way. Just copy this and paste it in, say install this, and it's going to install it in a couple of minutes. However, if you don't have Claude or Codex installed, I've created this installation guide, so you can just follow this with these commands. I'm basically just going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it DeepSeek. Then I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code. If you don't have it already, you can just download it off the internet just by searching Visual Studio Code download. Click open and then choose the DeepSeek folder that we just created. Just like this. Open the terminal and now we are ready. All we have to do is just paste in this command right here and hit enter. It's in the installation docs. And this is going to download and set up the harness for us. When it's done, it's going to give you this URL right here where the harness is open. So just paste that into your browser and there we go. Now we are inside the brand new harness that is still in preview. There's a couple of things that we're going to do before our test. The first thing we're going to do is that we're going to set it to full access. And for the model, we're going to choose the DeepSeek V4 Pro, which is the strongest DeepSeek model. It's a lot cheaper than the other models. I gave the pricing from the Claude API and the pricing from the DeepSeek API, and what we'll be able to see is that 5.6 Sol is 15 times more expensive when it comes to the output and 7.5 times more expensive when it comes to the input. Opus is almost the same as GPT 5.6 Sol, and then Fable 5 is 15 times more expensive on the input and 25 times more expensive on the output. So if the DeepSeek V4 Pro is just close to being as good as the other models and can perform something that's close, I would say that's a win for DeepSeek. But let's see, this is my brutally honest test. We're actually going to be starting with the hardest and most exciting test first, which is going to be running for a while. I want all the models to try and build a Loom clone with full authentication, full backend, full database, absolutely everything. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this entire thing and then I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to set it to standard mode, which is the full coding agent with file editing and everything. We're going to set it to the DeepSeek V4 Pro and we are going to set it to effort high. So this is what we're going to do on all of them. I'm going to set it to full access so I don't have to sit there and accept everything that it does. And then we run it. And then we're going to do the exact same for Claude. We're going to paste in the desired prompt. We're going to use Opus 5, which is the closest equivalent to the DeepSeek model. It is still like 10 times the price. But again, what we are testing right here is not necessarily the model, it's the model and the harness together. We set it to auto mode and then we hit enter. And then we're going to take the exact same prompt, give that to Codex as well, use 5.6 with high, and then run that prompt as well. And there we have it. All three harnesses are now running side by side on the exact same prompt. I can see I just forgot that Opus 5 of course needs to be on high as well, same as the other models, so it is fair. But now my guess is that it's going to take a couple of hours for each model to now build this out. So I'm very excited to see the results. In the meantime, I want to show you some extremely cool things that you can do inside of DeepSeek as well. That's pretty unique to a harness that I've actually never seen before. DeepSeek has done something that's very cool that I've never seen before inside of a harness. Usually you're only able to see the chat. You're not able to see what's actually going on behind the scenes. But we have this button right here, trajectory, where we can literally see all the tool calls, what the AI is thinking, exactly what's going on throughout this entire process. Because it is open source, it allows us to actually look behind what's going on, which is extremely cool. And on top of that, the customization that I talked about earlier, we can go inside of settings and then we can go inside of plugins. And then inside of the plugin list, we can literally enable and disable every single tool inside of here, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And because it's open source as well and we're running this harness locally, we can actually update and tune this to whatever we want. It's almost like playing with Legos. All right, all harnesses are running side by side. I'm extremely excited to see the result of how well this new harness performs compared to Codex and Claude. Because if it's even close and we are paying 1/10 of the price, that would be such a game changer. Well, only time can tell. This is going to take a couple of hours before they're ready. Now comes the part to actually look at the result for what these models and harnesses actually build. We have 3 separate platforms that look kind of similar. Some are definitely better than others, and I can't even remember what platforms are which. So I'm going to look at them, give my honest opinion about what platform I think is best, and then you'll see exactly what harness and model is actually best. So far, just looking at this landing page right here, this looks extremely good and clean. I really like how it is designed. This honestly looks very good. The pricing cards, they look clean. It does look a bit vibe coded, so you would still need to put in some effort when it comes to like making this animation look not as vibe coded. But as a landing page off of one prompt, I think that's pretty good. Let's log in. Already now running into a bug for the first software. I'm gonna fix the bug so we can see the rest of the platform. We just need to keep in mind that we already have a bug on this platform. We can't even log in. Okay, to be fair, it wasn't an issue with the software. It was just the port on our computer that we were running it from. Let me log in right quick. We receive an email like this where we can just click open. This email, to be fair, looks very good and professional, so that's pretty good. And then we actually have an onboarding. That looks good. Start my first recording. It asks us for our camera right here. That's pretty cool. Click allow this time. Allow for the microphone. And let's click start recording. Entire screen. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. Is it working like it should? This screen right here that we just saw, that was a bit buggy though. So not the best user experience there. Recording didn't start. Bug number 2 that we need to fix. All right. Now it actually uploaded this time. Let's see if it actually works. It does. The recording is kind of messed up, but this is, to be fair, what I saw on my screen. So now we have a fully functioning Loom right here. Pretty impressive, not gonna lie. And it has the link that we can send to people to share. There's an issue right here with the images though, but like we have a fully functioning app and the UI honestly looks very, very good. We even have multiple workspaces. And we can even create folders. Not bad for the first one. Let's check the other 2. This is Loomy. I actually have no idea. I forgot which one was which. But we can sign in here as well. We get this login link right here where we can sign in with a magic link. All right, we have an onboarding again, product demos, continue to our first recording. There we go. Allow, default camera, default microphone. Not showing a preview right here. Start recording. Hello, does this work? Can we see this screen right here? So a bug with this software as well. Let me try and fix that so we can have 3 working products so we can compare them one by one. But of course, we got to keep in mind how much time it actually takes to fix it, because so far none of these harnesses has actually one-shot this. All right, fix the first bug in this software. So we can click start recording, choose our entire screen. This is going to start the countdown, and I can say yo, yo, yo. Can you hear what I'm saying? We can show this screen a little bit. We can show this. And then we can stop the recording, finalizing your recording. It was actually pretty quick this time. Paste this in, see if it works. It does. And it shows me, it feels a little squished though, but we have a fully working Loom clone with audio. All right, not bad. It doesn't have the entire platform like the other one had, so that's a bit of an L, but it can do what we needed to do. And then we have the last one, also called Loomy. We can also sign in here. The UI looks pretty good here, not gonna lie. Then we have this like an email right here where we can like create an account. We have a very clean onboarding. This looks good. And then we can like start recording, entire screen. Let's see if it can actually one-shot this, because none of these has been able to one-shot it so far, but it would be cool if one of them can one-shot it. So my like screen is down here in the left-hand corner. It's showing while it's recording. Go a bit to this screen as well, go back a little bit and click stop. Wrapping up your recording, upload problem once again. So every single one of the harnesses could one-shot this, which is very, very interesting. Let me fix that and be right back. All right, and there we have it. Now the upload works. Exact same bug as the other one, so it's very interesting how no one caught that one. But now we have a perfect screen recording software. And this software also has a My Library tab, but that doesn't work. Let me try and sign into that again and see if it works then. Cool. So this platform also has an entire backend that looks pretty good. I like this. It's very intuitive. So that definitely gives an extra point as well. All right, the time for the big reveal. What harness and model actually created each of these? The first one that had a couple of bugs was actually Codex that worked for 1 hour and 46 minutes. So it took almost 2 hours to build out this platform. And I'm going to say based on the 3 we have right here, I like this UI the best. It's nicer on the eye. This looks very vibe coded, however, but like in general, the platform looks nice. Number 2 that's running on port 3100 was actually DeepSeek, and you can see it has run for 82 minutes. So what is that, like 1 hour and 20 minutes? That is not bad, considering this model is 1/10 of the cost of the 2 other models that we're using right now. It creating this and creating a working product, we had 1 bug we had to fix. It's honestly really, really impressive. I still like the UI better on this one. I like the platform and how intuitive it was better. But considering that it's an open source model and that it's 1/10 of the price, I'm honestly extremely impressed. I didn't expect that. And that also means that the last one, this one right here, the third one, was made by Claude Code. But the crazy thing is that Claude Code and Opus was the one that took the longest by far. It took 3 hours and 27 minutes to build out, which was twice as long as DeepSeek and almost 1 hour more than Codex. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments which UI, which logic that you like the best, and if you're going to be using the DeepSeek harness yourself. If you want a full guide for how you can take your AI knowledge and turn it into a business, then you can consider our community. You can try it completely for free. It has all of my Claude skills, and it has the 7-day challenge that takes you from nothing to building an AI business in 7 days. I'll leave a link in the description below. It's safe to say that Chinese AI is catching up. I'll say that I like this one the best from Codex, then probably Claude, and then DeepSeek. But DeepSeek is not far from the other models, and it's 1/10 of the price. Thank you so much for watching. Albert, out.